Hi, this is Steve Doherty. I'm editor of Plein Air magazine. I recently finished an article on Mark Boedges for the digital edition of the September 2016 issue of Plein Air. And it came about because Mark posted a photograph of a painting on Facebook and with a text that said this was the fourth attempt that he made to do a landscape painting and the other three attempts failed. Now, for Mark Boedges to say that he had three attempts that failed startled me. I mean, Mark is at the top of his game. He's one of the most gifted painters. He's also somebody who's very deliberate about how he mixes color. He gives a lot of guidance to other artists through his online courses. So for him to fail at three attempts said to me, there's a story here because we may all need to be as critical of our own work as Mark has been. So this is Mark's first attempt, and you can see he did not include much of the water. He pushed the bright highlights across the diagonal shapes of the rocks. This is the second where the water does appear, and there's some middle range value. So finally, after the third attempt, which he says failed in part because he and his wife have an infant child and who doesn't sleep through the night very much, so he was not in best shape to do that painting. But putting that aside, the fourth one, which he says succeeded because he didn't go for the strong contrast between the light and dark, and he put more color and middle range values in the shadow area, which he says may have more color in the painting. So the lesson he was offering, really, and which I hope comes across, is that sometimes what we're trying to balance is the contrast and the color. That you can wind up preferring one or the other, or working with one or the other, but not always the same, both of them in the same painting. And Mark even went so far in the first two attempts to use pure white and pure black, something he says he never does, but he was really trying to push for that contrast. So, and this was a scene that he has painted many times before. He often goes off into the wilderness in Vermont, and he paints the woodlands in winter and summer, paints the streams, the rivers, so it was not an unfamiliar subject to him. He's done remarkably well with the paintings of Vermont, but also in other locations where he has worked. For example, he won the Best of Show at Door County Plein Air a couple of years ago with a wonderful painting of a cliff right along the ocean. In some ways the same balance of light and dark that he talks about in this recent work. And you could subscribe to that by going to our website, outdoorpainter.com, and you'll see that when you click on subscription, it offers you an opportunity to get both the print and the digital. Off to the side on that same website is a place where you can subscribe to the free weekly e-newsletter that has the same kind of relevant information about artists out working in the field, either during festivals or on their own. There are features about what has worked, what hasn't worked, who's winning awards, who's traveling, who's doing interesting things. So anyway, I learned a lot from talking to Mark Boedges. I hope you will as well, and I hope that you'll subscribe to Plein Air magazine for the kind of communication that can be beneficial between an artist of Mark's professional status and the rest of us. So thanks very much.